Hey guys, how you doing? Hopefully you're doing okay. Going to give you a very thorough overview of the article here. I'll probably scroll through to make sure I give you all of the important bits of information. There's a link in the description. If you appreciate the coverage, please do like, comment, subscribe, share the video as you see fit. If you value the channel, please do consider joining the memberships. It's in regards to these two here, their boyfriend, girlfriend, their adoptive parents. Certainly the woman, Mandy Miller, is the adoptive mother of an 8-year-old girl. We don't know the girl's name. By the way, should have mentioned these guys are from Washington State. His name, I'm going to pronounce it incorrectly, Alexander Kermoyorov. Alexander Kermoyorov. The woman, Mandy Miller, 28 years of age, 33 years of age. Their 8-year-old adoptive daughter, or certainly the woman was legally the adoptive mother. He's the boyfriend. The 8-year-old adoptive girl died 3 months ago. We don't know why or how she died. We don't know. There are forensic tests, medical examiner reports, and autopsy, etc. taking place right now. But the details of how she died at this point in time is not known. That will shortly be released, I believe, I hope. She died 3 months ago. These guys did not report the girl's death to the authorities. With that, there's a lot of suspicion around them, around the details as how the girl died and the adoptive parents' involvement. But this article is telling us that these two were arrested on a cross-country trip traveling from Washington State to Pine Ridge. They had a U-Haul, that, like a trailer that people use. U-Hauls, in America, you know this more than I do, but people use U-Hauls as a trailer to transport property, boxes, bit of furniture, when they move house, when they relocate. These guys were arrested with a U-Haul. They said to the officers, "Oh, hi, officers. Just to let you know, in the U-Haul, in the back of it, is a coffin. In that coffin is the corpse of our adoptive daughter, our 8-year-old girl. She died 3 months ago. She's in the back of that U-Haul." That's what they said to the officers. They volunteered that. They didn't try to hide the fact that they were transporting the corpse within a coffin within their U-Haul from Washington State to Pine Ridge. Bit weird, isn't it? Now, the police were looking for them. Why were the police looking for them? Because they'd received a phone call from somebody, an unknown person, saying, "Officers, these two weirdos are the adoptive parents of an 8-year-old girl who died 3 months ago. They failed to report the death of that child. And currently, they are transporting that child from one state to another in the back of a U-Haul. Please go and arrest them." So seemingly the police received a phone call, presumably anonymously. We don't know who from. And the police found them, intervened, and indeed they found the coffin with the deceased girl in the U-Haul. When the police asked them about the death of the child, the pair were less forthcoming. They didn't provide a consistent answer. So the adoptive father stated that the juvenile had died in an area called Airway Heights, which is where they used to live, I believe, a little before Halloween 2022. The mother, or the adoptive mother, told investigators that her daughter died on September the 10th, 2022. So the adoptive father is given a completely different date of the death of the 8-year-old girl than the mother. Police have alleged that the adoptive father would admit, or did admit, that neither he nor the adoptive mother sought medical attention for the 8-year-old girl, their adoptive daughter, when she died. Why didn't they seek medical attention? Well, they don't want to paint themselves as being murderers. They don't want to paint themselves as being in any way responsible. They don't want to paint themselves as being bad people. So their claim is, we wanted to spend more time with the child. We wanted to spend more time with her, with loving people. We wanted to spend more time with our deceased 8-year-old adoptive daughter. Further to that, they said that they were afraid that they would get in trouble. Why would you get in trouble? If she died due to natural causes, due to an illness or what have you, why would you get into trouble? You wouldn't get into trouble unless either you were directly involved in her death, in her injuries, in her ailments, or you failed to seek medical attention. And these guys apparently, or the adoptive father certainly, has seemingly admitted that they both failed to seek medical attention for the 8-year-old girl. That's pretty much all of the key information that we have at this point. Their property at Airway Heights has been searched. An investigation is underway. The article isn't stating that it's a homicide investigation, but that would be my guess. My guess is that you really would have to suspect these guys of homicide. One way or another, even if they're incredibly low IQ people, even if they're like religious cultists. We've seen this kind of thing before, where some religious cultists have failed to seek medical attention for their children. There's been countless cases of that. Oh, we're going to heal the child through prayer. Okay, we've been told that they're dying of leukemia, but we're going to heal them through prayer. We're not going to give them the medication that they need. I'm thinking of a case where a girl needed insulin and she was denied the insulin. I think that happened in Australia. There are cases like this, or rather, there are cases whereby the parents, the guardians involved, fail to seek medical attention due to their religious beliefs. Could that be what's happened here? Possibly, but I think it's more likely that it's probably the more simplistic, the more obvious, the more common reason for the girl's deaths would be murder. Would be my guess. These guys didn't want to get into trouble. They didn't know how to dispose of the 8-year-old girl's body, so they've bought themselves some time. Why were they traveling to Pine Ridge? What were they going to be doing with the 8-year-old girl's body at that point in time? We don't know. So we are told that an autopsy is underway. I've got to question how effective an autopsy can be. Forgive me, the 8-year-old girl has been deceased for 3 months. I've got to presume that means an inordinate amount of decomposition would have occurred by this point, I would have thought. I mean, that's inevitable, isn't it? Unless the body was kept in a low temperature environment, my understanding, I'm no expert, but my understanding is that the body would suffer serious decomposition within weeks. 3 months deceased. I mean, I don't know. I'm not knowledgeable about this kind of thing, but I would not be surprised if the body is heavily decomposed. I would think that that's going to potentially significantly impair an autopsy, the ability of the autopsy, the ability of the medical examiners to identify the cause of death or the causes of death would be my thoughts. So I'm going to hope that it is not the case. I'm going to hope that the autopsy can continue and identify the real reasons as to why the 8-year-old girl did die. And also perhaps to identify any other injuries or malnourishment or such, any other adverse conditions that the girl may have been under prior to her death. I would not be surprised, from my personal opinion as a layman, that these two are guilty of murder. Certainly they are guilty of whatever the charge would be, harboring a deceased body, failing to report a deceased family member, a deceased person. So these guys are absolute weirdos, regardless of to how the young girl died. And I hope that these guys face justice. I hope the investigation continues unimpeded. Full condolences to the extended family. The poor girl was an adoptive child. We don't know if her parents are still alive. But condolences for all those that are close to the young girl in question. Gonna wrap things up here, guys. Take care.